So this is just an appreciation as to the scale of development that is taking place in the housing sector alone. When you look at where we are now, and I'm just speaking about East Bank development, the what's the total kilometers of road, new roads we have built in the new houses, second by the time. So where we are now is about 7 kilometers away from what is the East Bank Highway. What is known, well, it's just closer to 8 kilometers to the East Bank Highway. From the last street in Diamond to where we are here standing now is about just over 6 kilometers. So what we have here is more than 40 roads, 6 kilometers long, just coming in to open up all of these new lands. If you see where the towers are showing there, that is a new transmission line that is being built. And of course, you can't see it because it's about more than 7 kilometers away. That is the East Bank Highway as we know it. Now, this whole development, we are here behind Diamond Grove area. That would be exactly where we're behind, close to the conservancy, as you can see over there. That's the watershed area. This area is watershed, so no development can take place here. The safe boundary line to the conservancy, and then the savannas go beyond the conservancy. So this development, when you look at all the new investment on the East Bank alone, we're talking maybe investment approximately close to $80 billion or more than $80 billion. What we have been able to do with this investment, and this is just transformative by any scale. Any scale, you take a developed country, developing country, this scope of work within 4 years, when we had 2 years of COVID, and we had all the other challenges, material logistics challenges, to achieve this is just remarkable. On the East Bank, with total regularization, new lots, and allocation, we may be closing past 9,000 new allocation. And this development alone is more than 7,000 new house lots that were created. So just imagine all the work, and we worked through some of the harshest conditions. You know, in the last 4 years, we had more than 4 major floods. And you can imagine the challenge of working here with these major floods, and of course the material and logistics issue. So all these roads here will be either loom finish or crushed stone finish, and of course the final infrastructure will go when the occupancy level kicks in. So so let me ask Colin and Suzanne to speak a bit about the development here, and then we'll take a walk so that you can have an understanding as to the scope. When we speak about housing development, sometimes we lose appreciation of the scope and scale and effort that is going in what we're doing here.
Mr. President, initially a lot of infrastructure work went towards drainage and irrigation, because when we took over here on the East Bank, and as rightly said, we're very close to the conservancy. So the land was pretty much swamp, and that is why we had longer period for persons to be able to access their house lot. And so we want to thank those persons for their patience. So we have, as the President has said, we have allocated about 7,000 house lots here on the East Bank of Demerara. We have reached to the conservancy, so that will tell you that we are saturated in terms of the allocation or availability. But on the East Bank is not only for residential development, we also have a heavy commercial, and in that we have about close to 500 acres of land that were developed for commercial purpose, and this is outside of for residential. And so a lot of work that you see now is to ensure that, one, the land preparation, and then secondly for the land, for the access road. And we have been able to start showing most of the persons on the east bank of Demerara. In fact, as I speak, a lottee that is on the east bank of Demerara can sign for their agreement of sale as well for the processing of the title for ownership. And so we have come a long way on the east bank.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Minister Kohler said and the President has said, we are really pleased in the Ministry of Housing and Water that we've gotten so much support from the President and from our government. And that's because this party, the People's Progressive Civic Party government, understands the importance of the housing sector and its ability or its potential to transform the lives of ordinary people. And it's very difficult to tell that story of what has happened in this sector alone over the past 4 years without people actually seeing it and being able to visualize it. And so I'm very happy to be joining President Ali this afternoon on this exercise so that we can show the Guyanese people, show the public, show the world at large what is happening in our country as it relates to the housing sector and how transformative it is for the lives of the people who will benefit from these lands, but also how it transforms the landscape of our country. And so this development and the scale of it, I hope that people can really appreciate and really understand at scale how magnificent and how large it is. So I hope people can benefit from our visit here this afternoon. And again, I want to thank President Ali for his vision in the housing sector and for our government at large.
One of the things that's important to note here is that one of the things that is important to note is that the no urban planning that we're doing, all of these roads that all of these roads go back to the East Coast and connect back to the East Coast. So you will have close to maybe 30, 40 roads that interconnect with the different highways that we're building back to the East Coast and East Bank. So this road, for example, will go all the way to the old East Bank Highway, but also connect to all the highways that we've been building. In the 4 years also, we have built more than 40 kilometers of new 4-lane highway from Ministry of Housing alone. More than 40 kilometers of new highway. So all of these roads that you're seeing here, they go and connect back to the existing housing scheme and also the East Bank Highway and the roads that will go back um, along the Conservancy and coming all the way back to where the transmission lines and all of that will connect directly to the East Coast, East Bank, and also have interconnection going back to Georgetown. So the traffic plan and the efficient movement of the transport system has been well accounted for and taken into consideration in the development and laying out of this new phase of infrastructure. So this is just to give an appreciation. This is to give an appreciation as to what. And when you look at the internal roads, when you look at the internal roads that we have invested in to create these new house lots, it's close to about 200 kilometers of new internal roads. When you look at the new roads and the roads that we had to upgrade to create this new development, all these new areas, we're talking between 170 to 200 kilometers of new internal roads. And then you have more than 40 kilometers of highway, 4-lane highway that was created. So this, as I said, is the scale of what is taking place, the scale of the development. Uh, I don't know if the camera crew can do justice, but if you look way up ahead, you will see a tower. And that tower is not even in the existing housing scheme. That tower there is one that was in what was termed then the backland. So that tower is in the backlands, not even in the existing scheme. Um, so that is the scale of development that is taking place. And, you know, we are still looking now, and also that is why when we say that we are slowly getting out of land, we will not have enough um, because of how the population is dispersed around the country. Most of the population is around the coastline. And when we look at the demand for housing and age, so one of the things that is important in the whole housing drive is how we have brought down the age of home ownership. Uh, Maybe to the late 20s, early 30s now. So that by itself is creating intense, continuous demand. But when you look at the land that is available, that is why now we have to look at the new Silica City and also lands along the Linden Seaside Highway as the lowest opportunity for massive housing development. So more of the development now will be uh, outside of what what is the traditional areas because we have now reached the maximum point of development in relation to proximity to the conservancy and areas that must be conserved as watershed areas in all of these places. Then when you go beyond Boston and Guyana and so you have a lot of private land in those areas. Then we go to the Linden Seaside Highway, where the new phase of housing development will take place, going and more and beyond and more. So but what is important to note is that what we are trying to do is to create a hub and spoke network so that even the development on the highway, the new city, all of that will be within 35, 40 minutes proximity of Georgetown. So that transport infrastructure and transport system is key to this development drive and it's key to this full integration of the system that we're building. So these are important things to note in the whole development drive and development shift of the housing sector. So on your left, that's a good example. If you look on your right, you see the road. Look on your left now. That is what they had to contend with, right? 2 years of COVID, in two major floods, dry season. That is what we had to contend with. So this is a good analysis to show two comparisons as to how development takes place. That is what you start with over there, the big trees, forested areas. That is what we start. That's the start point. And look at this road that we're on now and the development over there. So this gives you a fair appreciation as to the scale, the effort, and everything that goes into putting this together. So that is the start point. Then you see the drains that is created, first of all, to drain the land, then creating the access points, this road, and then on your right, clearing up of the area and bringing in the house lots and doing the surveying. The surveying alone at this scale and to get it right is an enormous task. So this gives us a true appreciation as the development that is taking place. We saw from the air a lot of the new housing area, all houses built in the last 4 years. We saw the new road infrastructure, a lot of it. We saw the new Ogre Highway that is coming from the old East Coast Highway all the way into what used to be the old Ogre Airport Road. 4 lanes coming all the way to Eccles. There's a number of interconnecting lanes that goes back into Georgetown, connect to Eccles. There's a number of maybe 16 lanes to connect up into Guyana, wraps around Guyana, and we go all the way to about 3 dams, with a now 4 lanes road, still land at 3 and then it's like a wrap around that to millions of active connecting the connecting all the development that we will see on the Midland Seaside. This is development. Susan, all the these flowers, the halicornias and all the other flowers. And Susan don't destroy, dig it out and dig it out. Let them plant it on the carpet. All around all the New England in the beautification program. You see they have all the different colors. You brought out the stuff again already. From the Ogle Highway. You see all those red ones and stuff? They're very beautiful in the grass. Look how many in there. All the low areas will have them. And they're big already. The plants are not even yeah, that's like off here.
You gotta remind them this is happening right at this end. What are the building and stuff?
Maybe look at go here. Đấy được sao cái là nó bị xì nó không ngoa trên cái gì. There's somebody who got a lot of color. Huh? So you see here. That's just back here. Let us keep all the big trees. Let us put it on here. Let us keep all the big trees. Let me see it. Watch it from the reserve. So this is another example. These are lots already identified. That's a funny name. One. But these are all the people identifying the lots. Apparently somebody started building already. What you notice over there? People are fencing their lots already. Building, putting in their fence line. You see here, another example of people marking the tire. Somebody clean your lot. GV, preparation for your fencing and building. As you can see, another example of the stages of development is when it's a first run surface that will be in all of the roads to the end of it. So this will take us down to the next stage as the occupancy goes up. Somebody fencing and person building, working in the business. So this could be an example of the scale of development that is still ahead of us. All these homes will be built. The demand for labor, demand for construction material, demand for carpenter. So this also gives you an appreciation of the scale of the task ahead and what is required. It's tremendous effort. You know? And this does not happen accidentally. This happened by first carefully articulated idea that forms itself into a vision that forms itself into an actionable plan, and then you hear it all. So until you actually do the hard work, the action, that is what you've done. From day zero, coming back to the government, we started with water management, sewage disposal, flood, transport, logistics problem, all of that. And yet we've been able to surpass and exceed even what we had planned for. And it's because of continuous hard work. Doing it every day, every hour, every minute. This is how you create value. This is how you create value for families, create value for communities. When you have all these new developments, people owning their own homes, their net asset value going up at the individual level, at the family level, at the community level. That is how the revenues of the country work for you. When we build these infrastructure, make these investments, so that you can have not only a home, affordable home, not only that you can have a home ownership, but that your net asset value, the community value, the country asset base also improves and expands itself. So the revenue, current revenue is used to generate not only current, keep current value, but to generate future value. Using the net present value and investing in infrastructure now to create future value that will make every family prosperous and build a prosperity project for everybody. This is how it happens. See all these roads that will go back all the way and connect back to the East Coast and East back. Jobs. Thousands of jobs being created. If you see somebody with a load of sand here already, just look at it. Along the road, you see the heaps of sand? Those are persons who are already moving. There, to have their lands filled up. Ahead, over here. So that is the type of, that is what we want to see. That is what we want to see. Energy in the economy. Energy in everyone doing something to bring about improvement for themselves, bring about improvement for their family, and giving their family and themselves a better shot at a brighter future, a prosperous future, one that we go to better life. Our government has not only exceeded our plans and program in the manifesto, but we're working now on creating the conditions for a future that is sustainable and resilient, building out the economy, building out the infrastructure, creating new hubs of development, new growth hubs expanding the economy in non-traditional areas. Economic diversification is not only about the productive sector. It's not only agriculture, services, and manufacturing. Economic diversification is also the creation of hubs, the expansion of economic opportunities, the creation of an interlink that allows the blossoming and growth of economic opportunity, community by community. And that is what the approach, the municipal approach, is and has been.
But Mr. President, talking about the labor force, at least about 5,000 persons now are able to simultaneously. So if one is
Exactly.
to assume all of them start building immediately, we're talking about minimum at least 30,000 workforce that is required for construction right at the back here. And so that we don't even have that particular supply, and so there's an opportunity for work, there's an opportunity for tradesmen, and this again will tell you how much of an impact from your vision is present on the housing sector.
Yeah, it's a cyclical effect of all the opportunities. It's not only about increase in salaries, it's not only about increase in pension, because we pay a grant for children, the support to vulnerable group persons living with disability. It's also these important investments that help to create and expand wealth and expand opportunity for the people of the country.
Generations to come.
Generational wealth, yes. Another important thing to note is that you see the magnitude and depth of these developments. We also will have to continuously build the services sector and the support system. So service these areas, that is GWI, and in a lot of these areas we have already laid a pipeline for the GWI network.
Yes.
But now we have to build new treatment plants, new wells, new schools, new health centers, new primary, nursery, secondary, so not only primary or nursery schools. All of these services have to be built up to support this magnitude and scale of development and investment. That is why the holistic planning and understanding the holistic approach to development and planning is key in this transformation that is taking place.
But just to let your listeners be reminded, Mr. President, the work has already started in terms of the long-term plan for water. It's not
Yeah,
just
maybe we
only
should talk
wells.
about that.
What we're looking to do here is to mirror what is happening on the Hope Canal, and that is to tap into the conservancy and to be able to process into treated water. So the feasibility study is about to commence, and so that eventually will be able to, when come on stream, we'll supply the entire East Bank. But in the intermediary, we'll be drilling a number of wells.
And what Minister is talking about is one of our greatest assets is our freshwater resources, the surface water, fresh water. And we have been dumping most of our fresh water, which is a very key and valuable asset. So now what we're doing at Hope is launching a new project where we'll treat the freshwater resource rather than dumping it, so that we can have potable water, treated water for consumption. So here we'll have one utilizing all the areas, all new Hope Canal that we built, Hope Light Canal in Region 6, in Region 5, in Region 3. All of these are new areas now. We're looking at to put these water treatment plants so that we can have this water available and this rich resource that we dump integrated into get the full economic benefit from this resource. For us,
We'll take some example pipe work.
so look, if you see an example here, This is the GWI pipes that are already being placed in.